Hi, my name's Kyle, and I'm here to demonstrate how I properly cut and eat an apple in my own way. I personally dislike to eat the skin, so I have created a way in which I can eat the apple and not eat the skin. Hopefully this demonstration will help you out in finding a solution to your own apple eating problems. And I'll begin. Before beginning, you should always be careful when cutting an apple when you're using a knife. So you need an apple and a knife. There's a few ways in which you can eat an apple. You can eat it raw, or which is biting into the apple while it has the skin still on it. You can use an apple slicer, which will push the apple down into sections, and you can eat the apple that way. You can peel the apple, which is similar to the raw method, and you just bite into the apple, but there's no skin. My way of cutting is a little more intense in the steps that you take in cutting. To begin, you have to have an apple and a knife ready. And you first take the apple, pull the top off, which is usually very simple. You take your knife and you cut into it around the top, cutting a circular shape that has a hole through it resembling a donut. You do this on the top and the bottom, and you place them aside for later eating. You take the knife and you take the top and the bottom of the core out. This leaves cone-shaped pieces of apple that you will later eat. You then vertically slice the apple downward, leaving a square shape while looking down on the apple. And sometimes there's excess skin that you need to cut off. Once you've cut your apple, you then have to decide which pieces to eat first. In my method, you always eat the top and bottom cores. These have the least amount of flavor and the least amount of apple to them. You then take the top and bottom donuts, or donut-shaped pieces, and you scrape the apple out of the skin because you don't want to eat the skin because it doesn't taste good. Next, you move on to the core, where you take bites out of it until you've reached the core, where you don't want to continue eating unless you do like eating the core. Lastly, you eat the chunks that you cut off from the sides of the apple, which have a lot of flavor and still have a lot of apple to them compared to the skin they have. Overall, this demonstration showed you the steps on how I prefer to cut an apple, and hopefully this can help you solve any issues that you have in cutting an apple for yourself. Thank you for watching.